Someone is asking, someone is asking was it attending graduation ceremonies, right? No. Now, is it allowed to attend graduation ceremonies? If you're talking about graduation ceremonies in the West, in Europe, the US, and in the context of the West, then no, it is not permissible to participate in those graduation ceremonies. Take the certificate and go. Khalas, what do you want? You did the exam, you did the 3 years or 4 years, whatever you did, and you've graduated. Khalas, it's done. The ceremony itself involves photography and videoing, and it involves also, free mixing, and it involves dressing as they dress and behaving as they behave, and the shaking of hands between men and women that are not related to each other. They take your money and then they want you to attend the ceremony as well. Khalas, it's sufficient that they took your money, you pass the exams, take the certificate, go and get a job. That was the gharad, right? The intent was not so that I got a certificate, I want a big photograph of myself on the wall. If that was your intention, then your intention is corrupt. The purpose of education, in the secular sense, its purpose is so that you may work and put some food on the table of your family and feed your wife and your children and your mother and your father and your dependents. That's the purpose. The purpose is not so you can put whatever they put on their heads and put the robe on and whatever they do, so that you can be videoed and appear on the next magazine that the university publishes and so on. All of that, barakallahu feekum, stay away from it. Additionally, with the development of technology and online media, then you can do your degree from your home. There's no need to attend those institutions where you have to compromise your religion. Unless they are single-sex institutions or courses, then that's different. There's no need to attend. You can do all of these courses online and just attend once a term or twice a term to visit your tutors. You hand in your work and you get your degree. Once you've got your degree, go and get a job for men. As for women, then there's no harm in them even. At all, there's no harm in them graduating through online learning, through the universities that provide online courses and bachelors and masters and so on. All of this is good. And there's no harm in it, as long as the course that you are doing is a course that will benefit you. And if you are thinking of the ummah, then there's no harm. Because, as Shaykh al-Albani said, it is fard kifaya upon a portion of this ummah of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam to excel in skills that will benefit the ummah, whether it be engineering, mechanical or chemical or civil or whichever type of engineering, and mathematics and dentistry and so on. That a Muslim and a part of this ummah should be skilled in that. But it should not entail you doing anything haram to achieve that. And I would suggest, barakallahu feekum, that there's no need for a Muslim who's multazim, who's upon istiqamah, to physically attend universities where there is some compromising of your faith and your religion. If there is no compromise, meaning that they are not asking you to compromise your religion or your faith or anything, then there's no harm. But I don't know many that have that. Furthermore, the taking of student loans is haram. Right? So those who are seeking this photograph so they can put it on their wall and say, look, I've got a degree. It's no big deal anyway, to be honest with you. Once you get the degree, you've only really studied a few books after 3 years and you've got a piece of paper. And you think that you're something special. In actuality, you're not. Right? And if you say, well, how would you know? Because I've been there, barakallahu feekum, and I've done it. And I say about myself, it was no big deal, and I did not achieve anything that anyone else cannot achieve. So it is not that a person, walks around with his chest in the air and thinking that he's done something of an immense purpose. The real issue is that you have trained yourselves, you have educated yourselves to provide for your families and to benefit the ummah. And that's why we do it. Barakallahu feekum. And it can be academic and it can be vocational. How many graduates there are who don't even earn half as much as a plumber earns in a day? And all he is just good at plumbing. But he's richer than how many graduates? Why? Because he's good at what he does. He's skillful. And one does not demean the vocation of others and the skills of others. So do what you can do to provide for your family. Whether it be in the field of academia, engineering, for example, in the sciences, in maths, in teaching, no harm. And likewise, in those things that are more hands-on, such as a mechanic, or a plumber, or a builder. All of these are useful skills. But as for graduation ceremonies and its like, then there is no place for a practicing Muslim to attend such gatherings. Barakallahu feekum. In the context of the West. In a Muslim country it's different. Because in many Muslim countries, a lot of this type of, some of the sins that take place in the West, they don't take place in the context of Islamic universities or universities in Muslim countries. Barakallahu feekum. And if it does, then you would not attend them either. Same rule would apply. Jazakumullahu khairah. Well, the garments that they wear at the time of graduation and so on, then obviously you're wearing them because they wear them. As for the asl of where they come from and where they, the robe, because if you look at the robe, it looks almost like a thobe, like an abaya almost. So I won't comment upon its roots, because some have said that its roots are actually in Andalus and Spain and so on. But I don't want to comment upon that. But the fact is that the whole event that takes place is not an event that we are in need of. And then they try and sell you a portrait afterwards, you and your family, you and your mum and your dad and your sisters and all this kind of stuff. Wallahi, it is something that, that a believing person who believes in Allah in the last day, that he does not wish to be seen in such environments. So protect your honor, protect the honor of your family and your children, your sons and your daughters, by being distant from that. I don't say distant from education. Education is important. And who is there who does not want to have an education? It is not good to be illiterate and uneducated, because people take advantage of you. And if you are not educated and you are illiterate, you don't know how to read or to write or to communicate, then that has an impact upon the earnings that you bring into the house. It has an impact upon understanding your children, because you want the best for your children. You don't know what your children are up to because you yourself are an uneducated person. So it is good to be educated, because it raises the level of the ummah, as long as you do not take the wasa'il and the means that are haram to achieve that. And I am at the forefront, barakallahu feekum, in my mind, that I feel that I wish to be at the forefront of promoting education for our children, because I don't want our children to be ignorant academically. They need to be knowledgeable in their Islamic sciences, in Aqidah primarily, and then in fiqh, that they need to have knowledge of this, and this is what everything is based upon, the Sharia knowledge. And thereafter, they need to have knowledge of the worldly affairs, so that the Muslim Ummah raises itself in every sphere, not just in, just in one part. There's a tradition in some Muslim countries that if a person doesn't have any ability in academia, then send him to the mosque. This is falsehood. Rather, a person, if he really cares for his children, then he will educate them in both arenas. The foundation of both types of knowledge, its foundation is the ilm al-shar'i, knowledge of the Quran, knowledge of the Sunnah, knowledge of the ahkam, knowledge of fiqh. You're raising your daughter, she doesn't even know what to do when she's on her menses. What kind of daughter have you raised? She doesn't know how to purify herself. She doesn't know when to stop praying. She doesn't know when to start praying. Because she was never taught and you never took her to durus. You have sons who don't even know what breaks wudu. Others who don't even know how to make wudu. Don't even know how to make wudu properly. Children who don't know how to what to recite in the final tashahhud. They don't know what breaks their prayer, what doesn't break their prayer. They don't know the first thing about fasting or hajj. And they're proud that he's got 6 O-levels or 6 GCSEs, should I say. Proud that he has 6 GCSEs or 7 GCSEs. My son, mashallah, 6 GCSEs. The kid doesn't even know how to make wudu or make istinja properly. For what benefit? What benefit have you brought to your children? You're a waste of a time of a father. You're a waste of a time as a father if your child, you did not teach them the foundations of Islam and Tawheed, and the foundations of the Arkanul Islam, the Salah and the Zakah, the Tawheed of course being the first, the Shahadatain, then the Salah and the Zakah and the Siyam and the Hajj. Most of the kids in most Muslim communities have no desire or intention of ever making Hajj. Why? Because their parents don't have any intention or desire to make Hajj. Yet it is a pillar of Islam. But when it comes to sit in their A-levels, they'll beat their kids into their A-levels. Hire tutors at £25 an hour and £30 an hour and £40 an hour when it comes close to their A-level exams, because my son must get his physics grade A, right? So he can get into university, to the course that he's applied to. And he has no intention of Hajj. Rather, he's going to put himself in debt. It doesn't matter, because that's what you want for your children. That they sign that agreement to riba and get the student loan, because you have no way of finding that £30,000 that it's going to take to put them through university. So you encourage your sons and your daughters to take out usury-based loans. You have no concern. Those types of parents are a wasted time parents who bring no benefit to their children and nor to the ummah. No benefit. All they want is so that others say, look, your son has bought a Mercedes because he works for the, such and such financial organization or such and such a bank. A'udhu billah. A'udhu billah. My brothers and sisters, it is not that we do not care about education. We do. But what we are more concerned with is the right type of education built upon the right foundations. The ummah does not need the likes of your children that you have raised upon riba and distance from the kitab and the sunnah. Don't know how to purify, don't know how to pray. Daughters who don't know what to do in the simple acts of purification and worship. And you're so proud of them, mashallah. Because you're proud of the wrong things. And you rejoice at the wrong things. And you'll be biting your fingernails in your hands yawm al-qiyamah if you do not rectify. So rectify, barakallahu feekum. Jazakumullahu khairan. We'll finish there. No more questions. Jazakumullahu khairan. وسبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك.